please. Thank you. Please stop. Hello, Linda. Hello, and welcome to the Bass Guy Show. Love you, Linda. Hope you're well. Welcome, everybody. This is an interactive music, live looping, interviewing weatherman, Canadian window podcast. If we look out the window, episode 1156, we're going to be doing show and tell. And we're also under the weather here. I still have a cold or a flu. We're going to have the weather with Frankie MacDonald, who will be calling in now. Frankie MacDonald, how you doing today? Hello,
I'm
Frankie.
doing great so far.
What are you up to? You at the Mayflower Mall?
I'm at the Mayflower Mall right now. Tonight is the night for the Rob and Slim Show. I just did the Gary and Dino Show earlier in the day.
Wow, you're a busy celebrity, aren't you, Frankie?
Yes, I did a forecast for Seattle, Portland, Vancouver, and Ireland.
I got news for you, Frankie. If I look out my window, we got a ton of snow outside. It's beautiful. What's the weather like in your area?
It's not as windy as cold. And did you hear about that? I'm doing great so far.
Yes, Frankie MacDonald. If anybody has any questions for Frankie, the world's most famous weather person, ask your questions on the board and we'll give your name a shout out. Could you say hi to my friend Dop?
Hi, Doc. Hi,
Frankie,
Doc. I'm doing great.
Did you have your lunch today, Frankie?
Mr. Nulu. Tonight
Mr.
I'll be on the Rob and Slim Show tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on December the 18th.
So there's a podcast from New Jersey, and the guys' names are Rob and Slim and Slambo and the Driz, and they're going to be interviewing Frankie MacDonald. What time tonight, Frankie?
9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's 10 p.m. Atlantic Standard Time.
Okay, thank you. So that's it's going to be on tonight, so check that out. All you have to do is look on the internet, on Facebook, Twitter, anything, at Rob and Slim Show. And how many interviews have you done on their show, you think?
I did a lot of Trevor's Happy Hour, Gary Dino Show, Bass Guy Show, did another Baltimore radio show podcasting.
So Christmas is upon us. What do all the kids do when it starts to snow outside, Frankie?
They get excited when they're kids. And did you hear about that? And Australia is on fire. Temperature's 50 degrees Celsius in Australia.
Yeah, they're calling it what is it called? A super fire?
It's a heat wave going on in Australia because of climate change happening in the world. Greta has made it back to Sweden.
That's right, eh? She made it back home. What an amazing thing to do, to be 16 years old and travel the world and meet all the world's most famous leaders and everything and come back. I think that's a good thing, you know?
And Greta was at the COP25 summit and all those people like Greta from different countries.
So, Frankie, what's the weather going to be like from Wednesday till Friday this week in North America?
It's going to be a really wind. It's going to be it's flurries and windy on Friday around in my area in Sydney. And Montreal is going to be saying it's going to be a big storm in Ireland tonight.
Who's your friend? Who owns the Chill Zone? Who does the ice cream? What's his name?
That man does it. He'll be back this summer.
Okay, and your favorite is a chocolate sundae, right?
Yes. You're down there. Did you? I want Rob and Slim to go down there.
Yeah, the Bass Guy Show went to go meet Frankie
Rob
MacDonald.
and Slim would have to start GoFundMe themselves to get them down to Sydney, Nova Scotia.
Yeah, Sydney, Nova Scotia. So Frankie MacDonald, what's the weather going to be like in North America for Saturday and Sunday?
It's going to be a lot of rain in southern states, and it's going to be a whole lot of rain in Florida, Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, Texas, and Ireland. It's going to be not beautiful and some showers up in Ireland Saturday, in Great Britain, and France, and all these places. It's going to rain more in Spain. It's going to might be some showers. And did you hear about that? And Australia is going to get more heat wave in Australia and New Zealand.
What about space weather? What's going on in outer space?
The asteroid 2001 WN5, far, far away, headed towards here, 248,000 kilometers on June 26, 2028.
It's not going to hit the planet Earth, is it? But it's going to miss the Earth, you said, yeah?
Yeah.
So, Frankie, what's going on this week in the world of film and movies?
Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker, Cats, and Bombshell. 3 movies this week. Next week, you got Spies in Disguise on Christmas Day, and the other movie called Little Women. Emma Watson, Little Women.
What a legacy, eh? Star Wars, that came out like in 1977. It used to be a radio show.
Then they got My Spy coming on the second Friday in the New Year's.
So is this the last Star Wars? I know they moved over to Disney and Lucas is just
then they got Robert Downey Jr. coming with another movie called Dr. Dolittle that will be in mid-January.
I'd love to see Frankie MacDonald the movie one day. You think it'll happen?
And did you hear about that? Then they got Birds of Prey coming in February. Once April comes out, what movie's coming out in April? The New Mutants on April 3rd, 2020. The New Mutants, that's the next X-Men movie.
So, Frankie, we're live on Periscope. We have 53 people watching. What would you like to say to the 53 people?
I was born and raised in Sydney, Nova Scotia in 1984. I was born in 1984. I was raised in Sydney, Nova Scotia. When I was a little baby, I used to walk around with a walker. When I was a little kid, I used to go swimming, biking, running, walking, things like that. I graduated from Sydney Academy in high school in June 2004. I was in the badminton club in high school. I was a member of the Sydney Academy Drama Group. I was a member of the Whitney Freeway Club back in those days. December 27, 2007, I did the very first video of the scenery. Then on December 16, 2009, I did the very first video of myself talking about the Singapore earthquake prediction for January 2010. Then in June 2010, I did the very first video of myself, severe earthquake warning for California in September 2010. Before I did severe earthquake warning video, I only had 20 subscribers on my old Flank 99 YouTube channel back then.
And those were the dark ages of Frankie MacDonald. What was life like the day before you got famous?
That means I only had 20 subscribers, and a lot of people never heard of me back then. I was on Tosh.0 Season 2, Episode 13 back in late June 2010.
And then you kind of went viral. And how many YouTube subscribers do you have now, you said?
217,000 subscribers.
How many combined views do you think your YouTube has?
Over 36,000 views.
Wow, that's incredible, Frankie. Isn't it millions? Don't you have like millions of views, like for all your videos combined?
Well, almost pretty soon will be 40 million views grand total.
40 million. That's something. That's a lifetime achievement, Frankie. The reason I went down to meet Frankie with Gajen is we went to go to Frankie MacDonald's book launch. This is make a perfect Christmas present. It's an educational book for children and adults alike, and it was co-written by Frankie and Sarah Soller, and we got the autograph there, and it's an amazing book. Can you quickly tell us about the book, Frankie?
My book is about my past life and being prepared. Frank Dow Guide to Life with and everything, talking about the childhood of Frankie MacDonald when I was a little boy, and talking to see pictures of me when I was a kid.
I'm looking at the photo here of you as a little toddler. That's amazing. It says Frankie loves sports. In this picture, he's wearing a Toronto Blue Jays baseball cap.
Yes, that was a long time ago.
Do you remember that day, Frankie?
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
That was way before the internet didn't even exist back then.
Back then, it's hard to go on the internet back in 1993 because of dial-up days.
Well, yeah, you're right. It was like, made in the late 80s and everything.
Back in the 1990s, I was only a minor back then.
Yeah, you're only a minor. What was life like for people before the internet?
They were hard.
Well, like I said, I
play floor hockey, used to lift weights and things like that, go swimming a lot and everything. That's before the internet. People used to walking around and things like that, play video games, play old-fashioned video games like pinball machines.
Yeah, you had to get like some quarters and a couple of dollars, and you go down to the store and you go skateboarding or you run around, and there was only pay phones, so no one knew where you were. You had more privacy.
Before the internet, convenience stores used to have an arcade back then.
Yeah, that's right. You go in and buy some Kool-Aid or something, and then there'd be a video game in the corner, and a couple of kids would sit around the video game and take turns playing. Pretty cool, eh?
That was a long time ago. They take turns playing video game in those days. That's before the internet.
So, Frankie MacDonald, what is Christmas all about?
The birth of Jesus Christ.
Wow, very good answer. Very good answer, Frankie.
And that's Wednesday that is to put the cross on Jesus' head. Then on Good Friday, he dies, he gets nailed to the cross. And on Easter Sunday, he gets resurrected and goes to heaven.
Yeah. Some say it's kind of like the pagans believe that it was when it was to do with the weather and astrology and everything. So like when the sun came up on Christmas Day, you could actually see it rise above the horizon and then rise back. It got a little bit higher, and they say that the sun is actually the sun. The pagans would worship the sun and the moon and the planets and things like that. Frankie, what are you going to be doing for Christmas Day?
I'll be having turkey dinner and things like that. I'll be seeing 2 new movies on Christmas Day, Spies in Disguise and Little Women, Emma Watson.
Well, my day just got a whole lot better, Frankie, because my good friend Van Goat is here. So welcome to Van Goat. You want to say hi to Van, Frankie?
And hi, Van. I'm doing great so far. Rob and Slim will be back in January.
We finally have a question on the wall. Thank you, Van. Van is asking, does Frankie MacDonald have a real Christmas tree?
No, only artificial.
And you're going to have a glass of champagne with your Christmas dinner, aren't you?
And Donna. And did you hear about that? Donald Trump is getting impeached.
Yeah, I think that's on TV right now. He's getting peaches right now or something. And they're going to decide whether he'll get impeached. The process will go through or not. And then it could happen in
Donald
January.
Trump could end up like Richard Nixon.
What kind of topper do you have? Does that mean like what's on the top of your Christmas tree?
On top of Christmas, you probably have an angel.
And what kind of things do you get for Christmas?
I get clothes and I get new sneakers and things like that. And gift card.
What kind of things do you give people at Christmas? Do you give anybody anything?
Last year I got a weather station.
I mean, do you give a gift to your grandparents or something like that? Do you get a gift for anybody?
I get a gift card.
Okay, you get a gift card. But do you give a gift? Do you go and buy a gift for your grandparents?
I get gifts to the family. And did you hear about that?
Van says he won't get impeached. I think Van is right because it looks like it's 50-50, and that's it. Yeah. It needs to be 2/3. So.
Are you going to the presidential inauguration on January 20th, 2021?
Am I going?
Are you going to Washington, D.C. for inauguration on January 20th, 2021?
I don't know. I haven't been anywhere because I don't have any money. So.
Robert Slim is closer to presidential inauguration.
They're closer, eh? They're in New Jersey. Maybe Van will go. What happens? A whole bunch of people get together and watch the new president be signed in.
Yes. Van probably go.
It's really beautiful outside, Frankie. There's lots of snow, and I noticed. I've been out and about lately. I've been really busy. There's a lot of.
Rob and Slim would have to start GoFundMe.
There's a lot of people on the streets, Frankie. A lot of people are out there driving around and shopping and getting ready for Christmas to see their families.
Yes, Inauguration Day. How busy is Washington, D.C. in Inauguration Day?
It'll be over 100 people, probably. So Van says, I will be going to the Republican convention. Wait a minute. Here comes Larry. One second, Frankie. Larry's outside. Larry. I said shovel. I told Larry to shovel the steps, and he's shoveling the whole street. So... what kind of safety advice can you give when there's snow removal machines around, Frankie?
You have to do it really careful. When you shovel it, have your heft ready to reduce your lower back pain risk.
So when there's snow here, there's not much snow today, but when there's a lot of snow, we have like hundreds of trucks come into each city, and they scoop up all the snow and put it in a truck, and there's a guy that stands around it to protect people, passerbys. Can you show us really slowly around the mall, Frankie?
You're gonna have to do that. Send it to Rob and Slim too.
Okay. So, hey, you know the last video I sent you? It was late last night. I fell asleep.
You have to show Rob and Slim.
Do you want me to post that one?
Yes, Rob and Slim.
I'll do that. Okay, do one now. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Frankie MacDonald live at the Mayflower Mall in Sydney, Nova Scotia at the food court, and we're doing an interview right now about the weather and his comedy jokes and stuff like that. And Christmas is coming. You can see that sweaters are on sale for $40 each. I have actually been in that store, and I bought my sweater from that store. I bought a Cape Breton sweater that says "Live the Dream." And Frankie knows everyone that works there. And Frankie works there on Fridays. And would you like to say anything to Rob and Slim, Frankie?
Hey, Rob and Slim, you got to come down to Sydney, Nova Scotia anytime soon. Rob and Slim, start GoFundMe to raise money to get to Sydney, Nova Scotia.
Okay, there you go. So you want me to cut that up and print it?
Yes.
Okay, we'll send that to him. Imagine Rob and Slim getting on a plane and...
that means they have to raise money on the GoFundMe.
What if they showed up at your house with a case of like 24 beer and Jack Daniels and everything? Would you let them in?
Rob and Slim probably go down Dooley's. He probably go to Steel City. He probably go to the... Rob and Slim probably go to the Delta Hotel.
How do you think New York City and Sydney, Nova Scotia are different?
Because they're different cities altogether, but in different states, and they're in the East Coast as well.
So we have a thing here, Frankie. When it snows, the internet tells everybody that you can't park on the street. If anyone parks on the street, 514
They can't
towing
park
will
on the
come.
street in New York because there's lots of snow there.
I miss my friend Billy. I hope he's okay. What type of talk? So Van is saying I'll be going to the Republican convention here in Charlotte, North Carolina. What is Frankie's favorite memory of meeting Bass Guy? Asks Scott.
That was 2016. That means in 2018 you met Scott Crowley a day before my book signing. You got a piece of turnover. Gajan got a piece of turnover that day.
But he's asking, what was your favorite part of Bass Guy and Gajan coming to see you? What was your favorite part?
I met you you met me down at the boardwalk one day, and me and you walked down the boardwalk.
Yeah, that was my favorite part. Well, when we got there, we parked in the hotel parking lot, a big hotel by the ocean. I jumped out of the car while it was moving, and I ran to see you, and I was like, Frankie, you were just happened to be walking by. So, what parts of Sydney, Nova Scotia have you been walking around lately?
I was the cave already closed down earlier in the year, and I was down in Dooley's, and I was down at Steel City and things like that. I know Phil Kasuk, he's the guy who does karaoke. He's in Vegas right now. He'll be back in Sydney next week. Now Dale, another guy who does karaoke, he's filling in for Phil.
Hey, I saw your Twitter post that said, what happens if there was wind gusts of 1 billion, zillion, quadrillion, billion, zillion miles per hour? What
then
was
it'll
that
wipe
about?
the whole universe.
Yeah, imagine if it was so windy, all the planets and stars would just go whoosh. It was so windy. Everything would just get blown away. And Donald Trump's toupee would fall off.
Somebody took a picture of me appearing on a Tucker Carlson show.
Is that real? Were you on that show, or is that a photo edit?
Somebody must have took a picture.
Yeah, I remember that time I was hanging out with Bill Clinton one day. I forgot to scope it though. So, Frankie, here's another question: is Frankie as big as the fiddle?
That fiddle's way bigger than me.
It's huge, isn't it? The fiddle. How's Scott doing at Pizza Zone?
He's doing great so far.
Amazing. When's the last time you saw Scott?
Yeah, I was yesterday. You have to send this. You have to send a picture. You'll get the video of Scott Crowley. You have to send it to Rob and Slim too.
Okay. So Frankie MacDonald, I've got a really bad cold and I'm sick, and I appreciate you sending me that Vicks vapor inhaler. Can you tell us about it?
That can breathe in. It's a big mixture of moisture and Vicks that can clear your lungs.
Yeah, it's a good deal. You could just get a bowl of hot water, but this thing's like a little gimmick, and it's like $25. It's pretty cool. Hello to Jay Neubauer. Hello to Dop Online. Tell Jay to follow Van Goat. So, oh yeah, that's right. So Jay Neubauer, Van Goat is a very close friend of mine. Van Goat's the one who helped a lot with the Frankie MacDonald laptop fund we did a few months ago.
Then Rob and Slim's turn to do GoFundMe to raise money to get Rob and Slim to Sydney, Nova Scotia.
So I thought I was. Yeah, I think he is following you. So, I have my friend here, Jay Neubauer from Niagara Falls. Can you tell us all about Niagara Falls?
Niagara Falls. They get their own falls in Canada. They got their own falls in the United States side.
I think it freezes sometimes. Do you think Niagara Falls can freeze frozen? I think it did the other year.
Yeah.
And it can snow on the pyramids as well, right? Then you can go tobogganing.
Yes. Over in Egypt, they had snow in Egypt in 2013.
I went to Switzerland once, and at first I was disappointed because I looked, and there was just like, I looked at the Alps, there was just one mountain. I was like, oh, there's just one of them. And then I moved to the side. I could see them all. It was like Toblerone.
Back in the future, Biff Tannen sent Marty McFly to Switzerland for boarding school.
What happened with McFly?
Marty McFly had to go to Switzerland for boarding school. Biff Tannen sent him there.
That's cool. We have a viewer here called Assault Bert, and he's saying that this is dope. He likes the show. I like turtles.
That video and say, and Biff Tannen will say, "You're supposed to be in Switzerland.
You're supposed to be in Switzerland, young man." You got to be careful if you go on the Alps, because if you go in the mountains and you fall down, you can go dum 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 dum.
Then the ambulance will show up and go, take it to the emergency room in the hospital. Say, "Okay, doctor, this guy's all broken up. Throw him in the garbage can." Doctor picked up the guy, throw him in the dumpster. Then police will show up and go, They say, "Doctor, you can't throw people in the dumpster."
Yeah, this is a live show, by the way. Larry, the producer, is doing all this editing live as we speak. Let's hear it for Larry, the imaginary producer, everybody. Prepared. Will you call back on our show on Friday, Frankie?
Yeah, I'm Frankie MacDonald. You listen to Bass Guy Radio Show. Order pizza, order Chinese food. Buy case, Pepsi, buy case, Coke.
Shut up!
I noticed that your excellent drug commercial for Buyusol did not have a disclaimer, so I made you one to add on to it if you'd like. So here goes. Do not operate heavy machinery until you know how Buyusol will affect you. Side effects of Buyusol may include, but are not limited to, scrank back, angina monologues, the clumps, testicular cranberrying, mild to moderate kidney explosions, rectal reversal, itchy erections, genital migraines, phantom farts, Siamese nipple syndrome, scrotal scabies, and adult onset infancy. Call your doctor if any of these apply to you.
Where do you go if you want to buy some name brand ladders at a fraction of retail cost? This weekend only, take advantage of our special liquidation sale. Buy 9 ladders and get the 10th one for just 1 penny. Don't forget, they make great Christmas presents. And what better way to say, I love you, than with the gift of a ladder. Ladder City! Ladder City!
Thank you for calling Enlightenment Industries. This is Slavi speaking. How can I help you? What the fuck was that?
And yeah, the Christmas lights are up. People are running around buying eggnog and stuff like that. Today's show is brought to you by Enlightenment Industries. Shaka blessings to everybody. Let's hear it for Larry, the producer. Larry's the fake producer in my mind. Take care, everybody. Bass Guy loves you. Merry Christmas.
Okay, Larry, I need 14 toasters, a Mars bar, and a pair of pliers. Let's do this.
Larry!